ShotokuTech News of the Week, bringing you news stories that you might have missed because there were other news stories. You're watching ShotokuTech News of the Week, 30 May 2020 edition. Well, this seems to be a frightening development. The U.S. successfully tests a laser weapon that can destroy aircraft mid-flight. So the Navy's Pacific Fleet made a statement on Friday saying they've successfully tested a new high-energy laser weapon that can destroy aircraft mid-flight. There's images and videos provided. This is the amphibious transport dock ship USS Portland, and it's home ported in the naval base at San Diego. The first system-level implementation of high-energy class solid laser to disable an aerial drone aircraft. And speaking of drones, the Air Force is developing an artificial intelligence-powered Skyborg that could fly as early as 2023. So maybe we can shoot the laser at that. So the U.S. Air Force is finally pushing into the world of robot combat drones. I know we previously reported about Australia and Boeing developing their own AI drone. So originally this Skyborg was meant to operate as either part of a piloted fighter like an R2-D2, or as a autonomous drone on its own. Under its current iteration, the Skyborg AI will fly a higher performance fighter-like drone. This is interesting. Apparently, bees do more than just pollinate. Here, bumblebees that are hungry will actually bite the leaves to cause the plant to bloom early. At least 3 species of bumblebees use their mouthparts to snip little confetti bits out of plant foliage. This foliage biting gets more common when there's a pollen shortage. Experiments show that plants that were nibbled on by these bees bloom earlier than unbitten plants, by days or even weeks. Bees are really precious. Let's take care of them. Well, it's been a long, hot summer. Here, it hits 80 degrees in the Arctic. Yeah, it was 80 degrees Fahrenheit above the Arctic Circle this week. Arctic sea ice in the neighboring Kara Sea took the deepest May dive ever recorded. Random swaths of the region are on fire. Blistering heat across western Siberia. Explosive heat wave. The primary reason for the heat is a so-called upper-level ridge, an omega-shaped high-pressure system that allows clear skies and sinking air motion. And there's been a lack of snow in Russia, so the heat is not consumed by melting of snow. Wildfires continue to spread. Seeing fires burn next to braided rivers and large patches of unmelted snow is truly a mood for our current era of climate destabilization. China has revealed plans that they're going to launch a probe and rover mission to Mars in July. Hopefully we can have a drag race between theirs and our Perseverance. The Perseverance is due to fly to Mars this summer as well. There's lots of details about both NASA's and China's future ambitions in space, so check this article out. Is the Queen in? No, I'm afraid not. Apparently, Queen Elizabeth was entertaining Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu in 1978, but she actually took an occasion to hide in a bush so that she wouldn't have to speak to the Ceausescus, who she spied coming the other way from the distance. She actually hid in a bush in the palace gardens to avoid her guests. So just as we try to return to some sense of normalcy, the CDC is warning of aggressive rodents. There's a rise in sightings of rats after the COVID-19 pandemic. Essentially, with restaurants closed and human activity diminished in dense population centers, rats have become more aggressive and have even resorted to cannibalism. What next? Zombie rodents? Please take precautions to avoid rodent infestations and beware of aggressive rodent behavior. So are skinny genes still a thing? Apparently so. This is an interesting article here. This gene, whose mutated form is associated with cancer in humans, turns out to have a role in burning calories. Let's talk about this. This gene, ALK, or anaplastic lymphoma kinase, is a stretch of DNA whose mutant form has been associated with human cancers, but its normal function has never been established. So scientists have made mutant fruit flies and mutant mice, and they've found that it creates skinny flies and skinny mice, and it doesn't cause them to eat less. So this ALK must be the skinny gene. While studying the sound of melting glaciers, researchers record the sounds that narwhals make, this Arctic unicorn. Observations of narwhals are rare because they're very shy. So these researchers were studying the melting glaciers and Greenland fjords and recording the sounds, and they realized, heck, we've got narwhals here, let's record them too. Look for the link below to the YouTube video so you can hear the sounds narwhals make. Are you stalking me? Arizona sues Google for tracking users' locations even though they turn it off. So Arizona's suing Google for allegedly collecting data about users' whereabouts even if they've turned off location tracking. Sure, it's a setting and you can turn it off and on, but they continue to keep that data in maps, weather, and search apps, even if tracking location is disabled. There's a second setting that's hard to find to completely turn it off. Would be good if they included that in this article. Yale scientists release a new paper that indicates the tectonic plates of the Earth might be older than we originally thought. They may have been in place about 4.4 billion years ago, at least a billion years earlier than was previously thought. They developed their model around the study of argon, an inert gas that land masses expel into the atmosphere. Because of the characteristics of argon, we can deduce what happened to the solid Earth by studying this atmospheric argon. This makes an excellent bookkeeper of ancient events. So I've been doing ShotokuTech News of the Week for a little over 5 months, and one of the things that I've learned from observing my own self is that I need to pay more attention to what it is that I've read in the past. And so I'm highlighting here that on the 25th April edition, I was talking about record low ozone levels. So it's like a hole in the ozone layer over the Arctic. And then I reported a week later this largest ever Arctic ozone hole closed again. Earlier in the show today, we talk about 80 degrees in the Arctic with the with Siberia burning. And then this story here to close out the week. Earth's most mysterious mass extinction may have an ozone depletion component. And we know historically there have been 5 major mass extinctions across the globe, and most of them can be correlated to asteroid impacts, geologic activity, or volcanic eruptions. But the late Devonian extinction 360 million years ago, there's no observable major asteroid impacts or anything in the Mercury record suggesting volcanism. So we know they were warming from a glacial period, and there was apparently a temporary depletion of the ozone layer as the world warms. So I just said it. As the world warms, you could lose the ozone layer. Trying to be objective here and just present these stories as I come across them, finding the ones that are interesting. But I think when you look at a chain of events over a period of time, it becomes interesting to make these observations. I'm pretty open-minded, and like I say, I'm not trying to convey subjective opinions in this video. I'm trying to just convey objective observations of stories of interest. So I'll leave it for you to draw your own conclusions, and make sure to check out the links to these stories in the description down below. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech News of the Week.